Welcome to Martin Gardens. Today I'm going to be doing a backyard cleanup. So I'm going to be clearing out the pots, the tarp. I'm going to be moving um, just all the things to where they belong in the yard, and it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to try to like do do a speed up sort of thing. I don't know if I can do that, and because I can't use my phone to listen to stuff at the same time as I'm filming, I have my old iPod Touch that I dug out, and I'm going to be listening to the Gabe Dixon Band, their one album that they put out, I think, and that's because I miss Aunt Karen today, and we used to listen to the Gabe Dixon Band on the way to Ocracoke. We also used to listen to the Sahara soundtrack, but I don't have that. Maybe I'll get that. But anyway, here we go. Hi, it's Allison from Beyond. I just wanted to narrate to you guys what I'm doing while this footage is going. So right now I'm taking the weights off the corners of the tarp. The goal is, of course, to get the dirt, kick all the dirt off of the tarp. Right here, I'm also cleaning up little pots that were strewn around the garden, putting them inside. Taking the weight off the tarp. These pots, I struggled at first to move these pots because they're so wide and the handles are so far apart from each other that I had to come up with a method of grabbing two at a time, because they just have dirt in them. They're not heavy, but anyway, so yeah, just moving pots over. There's a bunch of old pots over there too. Getting the dirt. Look at all the dirt that got kicked up. I blew my nose after I got inside and a bunch of dirt came out, and I wasn't surprised. I had to stop here for a second because the dirt that was on the tarp had been left outside for so long that there were little plants growing on top of it. So I had to scrape some of the little plants off before I could roll it up. And there I go with the tarp. And that's me trying to figure out what to do next and if I can put the watermelons over there. So there was a whole bunch of leaves and stuff there. So I got out my... Wow, I am raking so fast. So I'm just clearing a space on the... you can't see it from this angle, but there's a little rock shelf thing that I was going to put my watermelons on. But I figured while I had the rake, all that dirt that I moved off of the tarp, I would rake back into the bald spot on the ground where it was, so that there would be some fertile soil where the grass could catch and that big dirt spot on the ground would be gone. So these two watermelon plants had kind of grown into each other and attached themselves to each other. So I had to separate them carefully, and then I could move them over. That was attached to some grass, so I moved that too. Readjusting things, trying to make up my mind, making small adjustments. Wow, those leggings are not flattering. Pulling up some more weeds. So there used to be very clean river rock in a square circle surrounding this fire pit. And of course, as time has gone on, there's been dirt that's fallen into the river rock part, and there's just been so many weeds that have grown up in it. So we'll probably spray afterwards with some Roundup to kill the tiny seeds and stuff, but there had been big weeds, so I'm pulling them out and shaking the dirt part into that bald patch. Oh, and so now I'm weeding the marigold. So there had been grass and other weeds that had gotten into it, and I wanted to clear those out and move the marigold off of the ground. And that's what I'm doing there. And in I go with some more pots. I'm hot and tired, and I wanted to complain to somebody. Yeah, it was, when I got up, it was 74 degrees outside. And then I had to let a couple of my devices charge so I could go out and film this. So it's probably like 75 degrees out around the time that I'm shooting this, which is not terrible, but the humidity is awful. You can kind of barely see me in the back there. I'm doing some weeding of the pots back there, getting out. They're not going to cause much trouble, but they're taking up nutrients that my plants need. So weeding the tomatoes, and as I'm stooping down, you can probably, well, that might not be, yeah, I'm squatting down. So I'm getting the ones that are in the pots back there. It's mostly grass and just like tiny weeds, but it all kinds of adds up, you know. The plants that I'm growing need the nutrients more than the weeds that I am not intending to grow. Eventually I'm going to be getting the weed whacker out, but see what I'm weeding right there, those are the squash and zucchini that are more on ground level on top of that old fence thing. The fence panel that we took down last year. There's still a short piece of fence panel that we haven't put up yet. I don't know that we will. Andrew, in the side yard, had put up replaced the two big pieces of fence panel. So you can see I'm gone for a little while there. I'm trying to find the weed whacker. I found the battery. That's the battery I was just holding, but I couldn't find the weed whacker itself. Turned out it was in the actual garage, not the Florida room, which I keep going in and out of. I don't know whether I used it last and just left it in the garage, but anyway, I do eventually find it. There it is. And I plug in the thing and let's go. Adjusting my noise canceling headphones there to get rid of the horrible sound of all the weed whacking. I'm going to have to get rid of the original audio because the sound is unbearable. I'm listening to the playback right now as I'm recording this voiceover, and it's pretty bad. But work on a day like today it's not very fun per se, but it is very fulfilling. Like, especially weed whacking, I find to be very fulfilling because you're getting like all the huge weeds and you're knocking them down, and there is something nice and satisfying about seeing a big difference in the work that you're doing right away. With gardening, can be very much a slow game because you plant the seedlings and sometimes you see the progress over the course of a day, but it's usually over weeks that you see big changes. And that's kind of why I like these garden videos, because it goes to show even me over the course of longer periods of time than I usually take notice of how much change can happen. And it's encouraging. I'm just as encouraged by doing these videos as I hope I am an encouragement to you guys who are watching them. Off screen, I'm doing the area in the corner with peas in it. That whole area had gotten so overrun with weeds. There was even a couple big sticks in the back. Also, you can't see, I kind of disassembled the weed whacker back there and fed out some more of the twine. I don't know, whatever the stuff that you actually do the weed whacking with. Oh, and now I'm moving into the back. It wasn't so bad around there, but you know, there's a lot of nutrients that come out of the soil when it rains. So the soil's elevated up in my pots and it's like really nutrient rich. So when it rains, those nutrients fall into the soil that's just underneath them. And the grass that's right around the planters gets very tall and there's a lot of weeds. Yeah, so it's quite a bit of work, but it's worth it. I don't know why my recording stopped there. I also filmed myself afterwards watering the garden. I was going to show you how I water, but really it's just dragging the hose around and watering everything. So let me just give you the after footage of all that I accomplished today. So I went back here. I took all of those weeds down. My sign still fell down back there. Womp womp. I weed whacked all around. And I weeded some of the beds, but like you can tell, there's still some stubborn weeds poking up. I took the tarp down. I pulled up some of the weeds over here and I weed whacked others. It's flipping hot out here and I didn't want to be perfect about anything. Just wanted to get the majority of it down. I did the watering. I moved the 2 watermelon plants over there. I figure they're not directly under the thing, the gutter. So hopefully the water won't go directly into the pots. I had an issue with that with my spinach a couple years ago, but I'll see the next time it actually rains. It might be tonight. Here are my tomatoes. I did weed whacking all around those exteriors to get rid of the tall stuff. Same with over here. I weed whacked all back here. I weeded in and around these squash and zucchini. Oh, by the way, check out how many flowers I've got now. You see them? See them back there? I think it's just on the squash so far. But yeah, and if you can see in here, right there, that is either a little male flower coming out or it's probably just a male flower coming out. I don't think it's a fruit itself, but it bodes well. Actually, so if you look in here, the ones that have little nubs, like yellow nubs at the base, are, I believe, male flowers. And then these right here that don't have nubs and just have the stems, like this one. Oh, that's an even better example. Male flower, female flower. Or maybe it's the other way around. That could be female and that could be, I don't know. They're 2 different flowers and they pollinate each other. I did all the weed whacking back here. And everything's looking good. So, oh yeah, and I weeded a lot back here. It's still got a couple sticker outers, but you know, nothing's perfect, and nor does it have to be. Okay, I am exhausted. I'm going to now go inside, clean up a bit, and hopefully that will refresh me and give me some energy to get some inside stuff done. Happy Saturday in summer. Hi, welcome to Martin Gardens. I'm going to be doing a cleanup today to like clear out these little pots and move. No, I won't. Gosh.